Hey guys, what's up, what's up? I just wanted, this SK, I just want to make another video, but this one I wanted to kind of focus on, playing your Shaman in PvP enhancement as a defensive class. Too many people just kind of go with a cookie cutter, spec. They don't switch out their glyphs. They don't, everything's comp dependent, especially if you do arenas, even BGs, So I'm going to go over some of the stuff that you can do to play your, Shaman and have more survivability. First thing I want to talk about is the Feral Spirits. I use them as an offensive cooldown. That's all I use them for. Now, keep in mind, the more attack power that you have, the more damage that they're going to do. So it's best to wait till after your procs, like Dancing Steel, your trinkets, and if you're spec'd for Elemental Blast. Now, keep in mind your Elemental Blast, a lot of people don't realize this, I don't know why, but they just don't read their icons and they don't read what stuff does. It actually increases your agility, your crit, your mastery, and your haste by 3,500 for 8 seconds. So, if you wait till all that procs, and then you use your wolves, you're going to get a little bit more healing. It's not going to be like life game breaking, but they're also going to do a little more damage. So that's a big benefit. The second thing I want to talk about, the wolves have a passive ability. I want to go more specific on this. They have a passive ability that will heal you. It's called Spirit Hunt. It'll heal you for 150% of the damage they do. Now, if you glyph into it, then they'll do 210%, which I'm going to go over the glyphs here in a few. 210% of the damage done, healing as heals. So that's why I use them pretty much as a defensive, ability more than an offensive. The wolves are great for saving your butt at times when you really need it. One of the other things I want to talk about is Shamanistic Rage. You need to be using Shamanistic Rage it's got multiple uses. Especially against like DKs, mages, priests, things like that. Anybody that can, put a debuff on you is dispellable. But anyway, the Shamanistic Rage reduces the damage taken by 30% for 15 seconds. Now with the glyph of Shamanistic Rage, like I was saying a second ago, it also removes all dispellable debuffs from you. This ability has like a 1 minute cooldown, or it has a 1 minute cooldown, so it's really handy. It's really good for, especially against Frost DKs or anything that's dispellable. Like I said, a lot of people don't use that glyph. You need that, especially if you're going to do arenas. You can switch it out depending on comps, for other glyphs. I'll go over that here in a minute when I go over the glyphs, though. The Spirit Walk. Spirit Walk's a great ability. It removes all movement pairing effects, not stuff like Ice Block and, when you're frozen, shit like that. It doesn't remove fear. But it removes most everything. At least I don't believe it does. Removes most everything. And it increases your movement speed by 60%, which is great for kiting. For 15 seconds. It has a 1 minute cooldown as well. You can reduce it with the glyph of Spirit Walk to 45 seconds. One of the other things that I like with the new change with 5.4 is all shamans now have, you don't have to spec into it, Healing Tide Totem. This is a bad heal, or I was going to say badass, but oh well, I guess I can say that. This is a badass heal. Basically, it'll heal 12, if you're in an RPG, it'll heal up to 12 players, the most injured players, which pretty much covers all the RPGs, all the players around you. When you're spec'd into Totemic Presence, this is where it gets really good. This is good for like when you're running comps like no healers, which is pretty much what I'm covering today, is running double comps or comps with just DPS, or that your healer's more of a single target, things like that. That's kind of what I'm covering today. How to play defensively against, in arenas or even BGs when you're pretty much counting on yourself to stay alive. The Healing Tide Totem, you can spec into Totemic Presence, and you can actually drop Healing Stream with Healing Tide, and for that extra 4 to 5k a tick, it might go up to 7. It depends on your AP and stuff like that. One of the other abilities that I want to talk about as far as the defensive cooldowns is a lot of people don't use this. You can actually use, let me show you real quick. If you get into Primal Elementalist, you can actually get in and you can macro. I'll show you my macro for it. You can actually macro into it to where if you look right here, show tooltip, Earth Elemental Totem, slash cast Earth Elemental. I got it on one button, and this is where I'm taking heavy damage. Like from, say I'm running against the comp that's just got crazy burst, and then I cast slash cast Reinforce. This reduces all damage by another 40%, and this thing lasts forever. I mean, it's like a 45-second, damage reduction. I love it. That's one of the most powerful damage reductions you can have as enhancement, especially when you're solo playing. I use it a lot. It also increases healing done. So like, say you want to pop your wolves and you're not taking a lot of heavy damage, but you want that little extra healing, there's another ability he does. It increases all healing by, I believe, 10%. So that's a really good ability. That pretty much covers all the defensive cooldowns. Now, I want to go over some of the glyphs that you can use, that I use. These are some of them that I use. There's 4 of them that I really switch between. And one of them is, these are all major glyphs. One of them is Glyph of Spirit Walk. And it reduces the cooldown of Spirit Walk by 25%. That's 20. It's only a 1 minute cooldown. That's 60 seconds. It's going to reduce it to like 45 seconds. So that's pretty beast. The other glyph that I use, and I swap these. It's situational. That's the thing about enhancement. I keep trying to explain this to people. If you're not going into arenas, switching glyphs and changing things, then that's why you're never going to reach 2K plus, because you're not playing situational. Shamans are one of the more advanced classes to play correctly. There's a lot to playing an enhancement shaman. You have to stack things like, you have to stack your Storm Strike with all your nature abilities. Storm Strike covers Lightning Shield, Lightning Bolt, it covers your, Elemental Blast, Earth Shock, and it increases the crit chance of all these things. There's a certain play style with enhancement, and you've got to play it and stack things correctly, just like the rotation. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I always do that. Sorry about that. But like, I always open up with a Storm Strike, okay? And I always drop a Searing Totem, then a Storm Strike, and then I put a Flame Shock up, then Lava Lash, and then I put out the Unleashed Elements. A lot of people use Unleashed Elements first. You want to wait to use Unleashed Elements till after you've got those other things up. That way you can benefit from it. Back to what I was saying, sorry. Where was I? I think it was on, Glyph of Feral Spirits. That's one of them that I want to cover. Glyph of Feral Spirits increases the healing done by your feral spirits, and what was I saying? Sorry, I'm ADHD. Glyph of Feral Spirits. It increases the healing done by 40%. Yeah, that's right. Okay, increases the healing done of your the Spirit Hunt ability of your feral spirits by 40%. So basically, your feral spirits heal you for 150% of the damage they do. So that increases it by another 40%, which makes it 210%. So basically, you increase it 40%. It makes it from a 150 heal percent of their damage done to 210% of the damage they do heals you. I mean, that's pretty nice. They don't do a lot of damage, but that little extra healing on top of the healing stream totems, your Maelstrom heals, things like that, they really help out. And one of the other glyphs that I wanted to talk about, which is, I don't know if I'm spec'd into it. Yeah, Glyph of Healing Storm. Okay, each application of your Maelstrom weapon increases your direct healing done by 20%. So, right now, if I cast a heal on myself, it's for 41k. But because I've glyphed into that, I'm not buffed up actually. There we go. Now watch this heal. 109k. That's a heck of a difference. So I typically use that one. That's one of my favorites. The Glyph of Lightning Shield, that's a really nice one as well. Like I said, all these are situational versus melee, casters, things like that, CC classes. The Glyph of Lightning Shield, whenever it triggers, it reduces all the damage you take by 10%, so for 6 seconds, which is really nice because it procs every 3 seconds, so it's pretty much up all the time when you're taking constant damage, so that's a constant 10% less damage buff. So that pretty much covers the glyphs that I like to use. One other one that I do use though, One other one that I do like to use, which is really handy, is the glyph of totemic encirclement. Basically puts down 3 other totems that are dummies, but any experienced player is going to find the right totem. It's no problem. But you know, it's still kind of nice because a lot of times you don't fight people that know about that and they don't know which totem to kill. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Last thing I want to talk about is the ability to kite. I see a lot of enhancement shamans just stand there. You know, they do this right here. They just stand there and they, yeah, I'm right here. Come on, hit me, hit me. Well, the thing is that, you know, you want to wait for your big burst damage. You want to wait and kind of kite. You know, that way I can't really do it on this guy, but you want to kite and wait till some abilities are up. Like, you know, say your Maelstrom weapon, things like that. It's like I'm a wave and I'm still doing a lot of damage, you know, and I'm kiting them around. But anyway, you'll need enhancement shamans are like the #1 kiter in the game in my opinion. Thanks to Ghost Wolf, Spirit Walk, Earthbind, Frost Shock, and if you're spec'd into it, Earth Grab. And I'm sure there's other things. That's off the top of my head, which will allow you to safely get the hell away from the guys trying to KB your butt. You know, so keep in mind when I'm actually kiting, there's different styles of kiting. Like if I'm facing a melee, like say this guy right here is somebody I'm fighting, I'm in and out, but I'm running in circles, you know, and I try to stay in a circular perimeter away from this guy. He's melee, depending on the situation. You know, if I'm about to die and I get a chance, I'm going to get the heck away, and I'm going to try to get behind an item like this, you know, and I'm losing the entire time, frost shocking, you know, bam, bam, and I'm losing. That's the same way with casters. Casters, I always try to find me, you know, I usually kite straight away from a caster, find me an area that's got a pillar like that, and then, you know, I stay behind that, and I use that pillar to line of sight their casts. So, like, if I see him casting, you know, any kind of a, you know, pyroblast, I'm just going to use that as an example. As soon as he starts casting it, I can, bam, I lost his spell. He's got to blink to me, something like that. I can snare him and come back around, keep hitting him. He's not really doing any damage. So, anyway, hope you liked the video. Sorry it took so long, but there's really a lot to cover. It's kind of detailed. I just covered most of the major stuff. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, put the information out there. Like I tell everybody, I'm kind of new to this, so, and I look forward to making a lot of enhancement videos because there just aren't many out there. So, I'm out. Take care. Later, guys. It's not shutting off.